Good morning. So today I thought I would bring you a yin yoga practice for the kidney and bladder meridians. So your kidney meridian runs along the inside of your leg, so the inside of the knee into the groin, goes through some of the internal organs and then up into the chest area, and it ends at the root of the tongue. And the bladder meridian begins at the eye and it runs down the back of the body and down the back of your leg, across the back of your knee and all the way down, and it ends at your small toe. So we'll be working a lot with the legs, and we'll try and keep this to half an hour 40 minutes or so practice. So we'll hold each pose for up to 2 minutes. If you want to do this for longer, you can pause and set a timer yourself, and you can hold each pose for up to 5 minutes. So we'll start in a comfortable seated position. Rest your hands on your thighs or palms facing up, thumb and forefinger joint. Eyes and mouth gently closed. And then start to internalize your awareness. So bring your awareness into the body, into any sensations that are going on in the body right now, any areas of stiffness. No judgment, just noticing. And then as you inhale, feel the abdomen expanding in all directions. As you exhale, the abdomen contracts and navel draws in against the spine. Inhale, swell the abdomen in all directions. Exhale, contract the abdomen, draw the navel in against the spine. So take 3 more breaths like this. Allow your breath to return to your natural breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So we'll start off with butterfly position. If, like me, you're practicing first thing in the morning, be very mindful and only take the body to the point where you first feel a stretch. Probably a lot less than it would be if you were practicing later in the evening. So, soles of your feet together, knees out to the sides. If you want to, you can take your blocks and just prop your legs with your blocks, like so. And then take your bolster, hug it into the groin, lift yourself up and place yourself on your bolster, and then relax forward. Okay, so we'll set the timer here for 2 minutes. So go to the point where you first feel a stretch. And then notice what you're feeling. So notice where you're feeling that stretch in the body. Notice if you're tensing any areas of the body up unnecessarily. So for example, maybe the shoulders, just bring the elbows in really close to the bolster and then relax the shoulders down. So we want as little tension in the body as possible. So be mindful of the jaw, the neck, shoulders. And then very slowly coming up. The legs to stretch. Okay, so the next one that we're going to do is saddle pose, and I'm going to give you lots of options for this one. So saddle pose, we're sitting between the heels. Okay, so the heels are on the outsides of the hips. If that is uncomfortable for you, you can take a couple of blocks. Try sitting on blocks. So you want to feel something though. You don't want to be completely comfortable that you're not feeling anything. If this is still too much for you sitting on your blocks, you can straddle your bolster. Okay, and if sitting between your heels is comfortable enough for you, you can lie back a little. And bring your bolster close to the small of your back and relax there. And then the other option is a block underneath your shoulders or lying all the way back without anything. So we're going to spend 2 minutes there. So again, if you want to, you can pause, you can try these different options out, figure out which one is working for you today. So I'm just placing the block here underneath my shoulders. And it's learning what your body is capable of today. So some days I would go all the way down to the floor without my block. Today I'm a little stiffer, so I'm using a block. So one more minute here. So when you're ready to come up, if you're lying down, bring your elbows in close to the body and then palms facing down, chin to your chest, and then use your arms, elbows, to push yourself up, and then lift your hips up and bring your feet underneath you. And then stretch them out. Whew. I had a non-yoga date yesterday and I'm feeling it today. So we're coming next into Sphinx pose. So we're coming onto our tummies. So I'll show you facing first. Sphinx pose is on your tummy. And then elbows underneath, more or less underneath your shoulders, maybe a slightly narrower. Palms together, or you can have the palms flat, whichever you prefer. And we're staying there. So 2 minutes there. If the back is a little bit dodgy, you can come down and just put one arm on top of the other and rest the forehead if the back is not feeling this today. Another option is to have the legs a little further apart when you're in Sphinx pose, so that you're distributing the pressure a little bit on the lower back. So we're stimulating the meridians here as they run through the groin, because your pelvis should be rested on the floor. So that's the other thing, just make sure that your pelvis is nice and grounded. And then you're stretching up through the kidney meridian as it runs up through the center of the chest. So just think of pulling your chest through your arms. Okay, and then slowly relax down if you're not already. And just give the body a few moments to adjust to that. The next one I'm going to offer you is seal pose. Some people find if they do have lower back issues, this one a little tricky. So I'm going to give you another option. So if you don't want to come up to seal pose, this is your option. One arm on top of the other. Bend one knee and look towards that side. So I'm bending my left knee and I'm looking towards the left. And I'm going to relax there. And you're going to do 1 minute each side. So that's your option. You swap the hands when you change. That's your option if seal pose is not accessible for you. If you're coming up to seal pose, you're coming up to your hands. Again, have the legs nice wide distance apart, takes the pressure off. And if you want to, you can put a bolster underneath your ribs here so that you can support some of your body weight there if you're finding it difficult on the hands. The trick is though to press the hands into the floor and push away. And that way, make sure the shoulders drop down, you're not like this. That way you're stabilizing yourself rather than kind of dumping down like this. So straight arms if you can, and push the mat away. But then you have your other option of bringing one leg up. So, whichever option you're going to do, I will tell you when to change if you're doing the one leg up version. So if you're up in seal, you'll feel a stretch into the stomach and into the chest, as well as into the back. So you've got your bladder meridian that runs along the back of the body being stimulated, and you've your kidney meridian running along the front of the body being stimulated. If you're doing one knee up, where the kidney meridian runs to the inside of the knee, you're pressing on it, stimulating it there. Okay, so if you're doing the one leg up version, you can swap now, swap sides, change the position of your head and the position of your knees. So your head is looking towards the same side as your knee is bent. So slowly lower yourself down. And just take a moment, both legs straight now. And just allow the body to adjust. When you're ready to come up, and remember, you have the option to pause if you need a little bit more time. Hands either side of the chest, just push yourself up into tabletop. You can spend a moment there just with a neutral spine. You can walk the hands forward and just come into puppy pose for a little bit of a stretch. Keep the buttocks high. And then she make her way into a child's pose. So we're just giving plenty of time for the back of the body to adjust, because our next one is going to be caterpillar, which is a straight-legged forward fold. So you want to give your spine time to neutralize before you go into the other direction. Bodies don't like, I don't like teaching to do a big back bend and straight away a forward bend, because it's too much for the spine. You kind of need to neutralize first and then go forward. So, caterpillar, straight-legged forward fold. So legs out in front. If you want to have a bend on the knee, if you're particularly tight in the hamstrings, you can bend the knees. You can put a block underneath, or a pillow, or whatever you have, even a rolled up blanket, a bit of a rolled up mat, anything just to give a little bit of bend in the knees. And then we'll take the bolster. Again, tuck it in to your groin and then lift your tummy onto it. And we'll spend 2 minutes here. So with this one, again, whenever you're hugging the bolster, keep your elbows in. Try not to do this. because that really puts pressure across the shoulders and tenses the shoulders up. So keep your elbows in so that you can relax the shoulders down. Again, go to the level that's appropriate for you today. So we've got our bladder meridians now that run along the back of the leg. So stretching there, and then up the back of the body, you're feeling the lower back maybe, the back of the body. And slowly making your way up. So taking your legs wide for dragonfly. So forward fold again, bolster tucked into the groin, wide legs. Again, you have the option of putting something underneath your knees, rolled up blanket, a little bit of a cushion, whatever you need, if you need it. And this time we're getting our kidney meridian because it runs along the inside, so you should be able to feel a stretch along the inside of your groin, the inside of your leg. And relaxing there. And you can prop your bolster with your blocks. Again, going to the level that's appropriate for you today. So one more minute here. Okay, slowly making your way up. Blocks, bolster to one side, feet together, and come to lying. Do it this way for a minute so that you can see. We're going to lie down on your back. Okay. You have two options then here. You can either do your straightforward twist, knees into the chest and knees over to the left, prop underneath, bolster or blocks underneath your legs if they don't touch the floor. Okay, you can try touching the feet first and maybe putting a bolster or a cushion in that space there. Or you might need a cushion. Sometimes the legs don't quite go together, so a cushion between the legs. There is fine. Or if you want to take it a little bit further, you can cross the legs. So we're going to take the right leg over the left. You can leave it at one cross or you can wrap it again. Knees into the chest and then knees over to the left. So whichever one is appropriate for you. If you have your legs twisted, you're compressing the meridians, especially on the inside of the legs, squeezing them together. Ground down your right shoulder. Look towards the right if it's comfortable on the neck. I'm soaking up the sunshine here. It's a beautiful morning, which is very unusual. So the doors and windows are open. Getting a little bit of vitamin D. Okay, so support yourself with your hands if you need to. Bring your legs back up. Unravel them if you have them crossed. And either way, just take the hands down by your sides, press the feet into the floor, lift the pelvis up and lower it back down again. Just make sure you're nice and neutral on the mat before we go to the other side. For the other side, if you're crossing the legs, you're bringing your left leg over your right. Either staying there with just one cross or wrapping again. Hands out to the sides and knees over to the right. Look towards the left if it's comfortable on the neck. Noticing any sensations in the body. Looking for a nice juicy stretch, no sharpness, no pain. Just one more minute. so use your hands to anchor you as you come back up. Unravel yourself. And just lift the pelvis up, lower it back down again. And take a couple of breaths there in active rest. So we'll move it on for stirrup pose, or a happy baby. So for your stirrup pose, you've got a couple of options. You can take it to a butterfly, lying down butterfly. If stirrup pose isn't accessible to you, just taking hold of the ankles or the knees, big toes together, and just open the legs out to the sides. Or you can take it all the way up, taking hold of the outside edges of your feet and bring them up towards the ceiling, towards the sky if you're outside, and knees towards your armpits. So whichever one works for you, either that one or that one. And if you want to have a little gentle rock while you're there, that's fine too. If you feel like you want to give the spine a little bit of a massage. And you can always take hold here at the backs of the knees, backs of the thighs. And taking hold of the feet is too much of a strain for you. So again, you don't want to be kind of like this, trying to reach. You want the chin tucked in towards the chest so that the neck is nice and long. So one more minute. Bring your legs together. Maybe do a few circles with the knees. Okay, the last pose that we're going to do, the last asana for today, is legs up the wall. Now you can either physically go up to the wall, a wall in your house, sit sideways right up against the wall, take the hand that's closest to the wall behind you, and then you just spin yourself around and bring your legs up the wall. Okay? Or you can float your legs up by taking your bolster underneath you like this. Okay, so it's underneath your knees. And then feet flat on the floor, lift your pelvis up, roll the bolster underneath so that it goes across your sacrum, and then float the legs up. And they should stay there quite comfortably. So 2 minutes then. So this pose is great for calming your central nervous system. It's good for high blood pressure, low blood pressure, helps regulate the blood pressure. It's good for fluid on the ankles, swollen legs, varicose veins. So all the stagnant energy from the legs goes back into the body and gets processed by the body. And then when you bring your legs back down, you get a fresh flow of energy, nutrients to the legs. So reversing gravity on the legs. And slowly bring your knees in, roll your bolster underneath your knees and straighten your legs out. Relax your arms, palms facing up, eyes and mouth gently closed, and just breathe. Allow the whole body to relax, fingers gently curling, feet dropping to the sides. Backs of the knees supported by your bolster. So feel free to stop here and have a longer Shavasana or do a meditation. And when you're ready to come up, wiggle the fingers and the toes, just get that energy moving again. Maybe just roll the head from side to side. And stretch the arms overhead, stretch the legs out. Maybe point and flex the toes, the feet. And then bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a little hug, a little rock. And when you're ready, roll over onto one side. Make your way up. Come into a comfortable seated position. Take your right hand onto your chest, left hand onto your abdomen. Close the eyes. Send love, gratitude, and healing vibes to yourself. Give thanks to yourself for carving out this time for your practice today. And I thank you for taking the time to be with me today. Hands to prayer. Bow your head. Namaste. Thank you. See you soon.